Hello everyone. I think I'm live, but let me go into my own account and let's punch up this stream and let's see whether or not I'm actually live. And yes, we are. Okay, wonderful. So now I'm watching myself. I have the chat on my right, and we're in the game. Now, I don't really know why it says my game version is modified. As you can see, I only have the official stuff enabled. Everything else is not. And we'll be starting a new game, trying this new expansion. So, yeah, if you have any questions or comments, be free to put them in the comment section. I'll take a look over every once in a while and see what's there. Other than that, I'm looking forward to this expansion. I haven't really kept up to date on the development of this game. I just got an email this evening that the DLC was launched, and I thought, okay, let's take a look. And here we are. So let's just take a look that the game volume is correct. I think actually perhaps that the game audio is not there. Let me just have a little listen. Let's see. I think that the game audio is not there. Let me just have a little listen. Let's see. Okay, yeah, no, not there at all. Okay, so let's add another sound source. Oh, let's have you shut up a little bit. Let's see here. So perhaps this one should be around here, and I think maybe that should do it. Let's have a little look at the YouTube player and see. Perhaps this one around here. I think. Okay, so that seems to have solved it. Okay, let's start with new games. So I cannot become the Queen Herald. Why?
With the successful connection of the Kingdom End jump gate, we are once again reunited with at least some of our lost kin. A great rift within our people can now begin to heal. But our systems, once drifting in the dark, now also connect to the Commonwealth. Diplomatic relations must be established with its peoples, old and new. For this task, your queen calls upon you, her heralds.
Okay, but I can't select it. So strange. Okay, but we'll read it. Game start type assisted. With the Kingdom End jump gate open once again, the Queendom of Boron is now reconnected to the Commonwealth. Your queen, Pilaphides, calls upon her heralds to voyage out and rebuild relations with its peoples. You answered Her Majesty's call and are awaiting your mandate. I can, however, choose this.
The connection that binds us as an interstellar community is fragile, even tenuous. Nothing has proved that more than the jump gate shutdown and the resultant turmoil. As the Alliance of the Word, we strive to strengthen the bond between the peoples inhabiting our galaxy, and you too shall do your part.
Okay, that does not sound like an organ mail.
Begins to regroup, to reconnect. The continuing isolation of our Boron allies is shrouded in mystery. Our only means of communication, irregular messenger drones, through which we have just now received word from Kingdom End again. The Boron are thriving and seemingly investigating jump gate technology. We are now dispatching a research expedition to investigate further, and you have been accepted to join our endeavor.
I did not mean to press the button. I only wanted to change the race to Paranid because that sounded like a Paranid. And I also wanted to read the description, but oh well, you can't get everything. So we'll just live with it. This will probably be a relatively short stream. My wife is coming back in about 1 hour and 10 minutes. I also arrived late home from work, so I didn't really have all the time that I wanted to spend on this today, but I'll try to stream once a day going forward, so hopefully we'll get to finish this in a timely manner. Yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say about that. So here's the jump gate. It's probably reopened, and this must be us. Morningstar is an old system, though. And that's a battleship, or a destroyer. I don't think we'll start with a destroyer.
Setting course for Heretic's End.
Affirmative.
Some of you are new additions to our expedition. Others have been with us since we set out from Trinity Sanctum. As we approach our destination, allow me a moment for a brief introduction. I, Numunkaret, welcome you in my capacity as commanding officer of this expedition. In our complacency, we treated the gates as an eternal gift from a higher power. We did not make sufficient effort to understand the technology. This is how the galaxy has found itself in this predicament. The Alliance of the Word is a collective of scholars and scientists intent on advancing understanding through cooperation. Word reached us from the Boron of Kingdom End some months ago via the messenger drone network. It seems they may be making some headway with their gate technology experimentation.
Alright.
First, I will admit, we dismissed the notion. So many scientists have tried and failed to interact with the gate network. But now, the dormant gate at Heretic's End is showing infrequent but undeniable signs of activity. This may or may not be related to the boron experiments, but the timings coincide too starkly to ignore. If the boron have truly succeeded in manipulating the jump gate, the consequences are beyond significant. But let us not get ahead of ourselves. This expedition was tasked with resolving the many unknowns of this situation. We could be reuniting with our boron brethren. Equally, we could find ourselves welcoming a fleet of Xenon destroyers.
Alright, so
Everybody, stay alert.
okie doke. Before we...
For one final equipment calibration, we have to make sure that everything is in order.
Okay, before we start, I just want to see what the message that I have received is. So let's have a look here. If you're reading this automated message, you have been identified by the Tikva. Okay, I'll mark it as red. it's the normal thing. Okay, so we're basically heading to Boron space because we suspect them to be developing some stuff.
Your attention is best focused on the task at hand. Why do you not scout ahead?
And we are here to investigate and probably be friendly. So let's see if I still remember the controls here. So I'm just to join the Alliance forces at the gate, not through the gate? Or is this Heretic's End? To unknown sector? Okay, let's go through.
Entering system.
I got a new message. Let's actually take a little moment to check that out. Let's see, what did we get? We got Skynet on the fragile peace in Heretic's End. Across the known systems, there are increasing signs of restlessness over the long-standing informal status of the Heretic's End system. From as far back as the end of the Terran conflict, Heretic's End has enjoyed a fragile peace, with none of the major powers willing to risk unquantifiable domino effect from claiming the system. However, there are signs that this status may not last much longer. Political analyst Al Buster spoke to us today on this subject. It's an open secret that many factions, including loud voices clamoring for them to claim Heretic's End, The Argon in particular have a very vocal movement that sees the sector as an essential security buffer that is forever at risk, but the Argon are not the only ones eyeing the possibilities there. So far, cooler heads have prevailed, but there's no treaty protecting the area, only widespread mutual trepidation regarding the potential consequences. One thing is certain, however, heretics and status can no longer be taken for granted. It's only a matter of time before someone takes over the system, whether that be an established power or an upstart newcomer. Galnet can only concur with Buster's analysis on this point. All we can say to our subscribers is watch this space. Okay. So now we're gonna fly over to the inactive gate, which I suspect will be activated shortly. There seems to be another gate to our left. For those of you who are curious about my... Oh. That sounds familiar.
What's going on? Sir, we are picking up an unusually high energy signature.
Oh, is this the HQ? Okay.
Goodness me! It worked! I made the jump! Haha! Unbelievable! Unbelievable! Excuse me, traveler. Did you hear the Alliance broadcast? I wonder, would you be interested in collaborating with one of the greatest scientific minds of our time? I am Bozo Tar. As far as I am aware, I am the only Boar on this side of the network schism. I am currently in the market for some personal assistance. Should you be interested, please do come for a face-to-face chat. When you have time, of course.
Okay, so yeah, we're gonna do that real quick, but we're not gonna progress on the main storyline. We're here for the new stuff. That being said, for those of you who are curious about my playstyle and my objectives, it's basically just to experience the DLC. Usually I don't end up doing like world conquests, or in this case galaxy conquests. It's more just experiencing it. That said, I do try to be a little bit strategic, and I do try to get really well established in the universe.
I only recently escaped my split captors. Can you believe they forced me to develop weapons? Anyway, I have not yet had sufficient opportunity to undertake much housekeeping. Best not to dwell on the past. All is well now. The installation seems vaguely to be of Terran origin, but it is certainly no run-of-the-mill station. It is equipped with uncommonly advanced research facilities. Frankly, I am rather longing to lose myself in the lab and focus wholly on science. This brings me to a business matter. I require someone to oversee the mundane aspects of base operations. I will be far too preoccupied with my important work. Might this be a suitable and rewarding use of your skills? No need to answer. Of course it is. I have transferred the station to you. I trust you will make good use of it. When you are not otherwise engaged, please do pop down to see me. I am sure there will be bits and bobs that you may be able to help me with regarding my research. When you are ready, of course, you have a new station to grapple with.
Yeah, we'll be skipping that. Let's see here. How did I get back to the ship? There we go. We're not gonna really focus on the main quest. We can do it afterwards. For now, we got a new message. Let's see, freedom and opportunity. It's Bolsota basically saying, come join me. Okay. One of the things I really hate about the base game is how slow travel mode is. You'll have to get a really good like scouting ship to get the good travel speed, but oh well. There's something to my right here. I just have to check and see what this is. Oh, it's a data vault. Well, I'm not going to make it a focus to kind of do these early, but now that we came across one, it's basically just free stuff. And me like free stuff. So let's get this open. Alright, so this should be good. There you are. We have our repair tool ready to go. Let's see. Ah, there's the other one. Let's go ahead and scan this too. Or repair it, rather. The static noises you're hearing in the background, that's the signal leak that we'll have to scan after we've opened all of the stuff. We don't have access to it right now, so I'm not going to go into scan mode just yet, but soon. You know, since it's been, oh, I don't know, a year or two since last I played this game, I can't remember like the specific placements of these repair hubs. But some of them should open. Stuff like this, yeah. So let's get into scan mode. Ah, there's some loot. Oh, that's a lot of illegal stuff, but hopefully we'll find a black market trader, because this can get us some really good early game money. Oh, I got money, why? Am I missing a hatch? Oh, is it in the bottom partition? Oh yeah, it's probably in there. Okay, we're missing something. Let's get further down the shaft and let's see if there's not anything on this side. Perhaps it's on the bottom. Nope. Let's see, we've done 2 there, we've done 2 on the main body. It really shouldn't be 5. I always remember there to be 4. Oh, I think I found it. Yeah. There we are. And now the lower partition should be opened and we can scan the signal source. There we are. Okay, New entry added to timeline. Let's read this one. I don't know if we'll read every single one, but perhaps. Let's see, where's the timeline? Logbook. General tips. Encyclopedia, here we are. Timeline. Okay. Okay, I don't know which one was this one.
Race to find Earth.
Ah, okay, whatever. Let's forget it. Okay, let's get back to our ship. And let's continue on with the DLC. How did I... Shift D?
Docking
Yeah.
granted.
It's been a long time since I played this game, guys. It's really been a long time. Alright, so let's join up with our Alliance friends and let's see where the story takes us. I see there's the pirate base here. That makes sense though, because as we read in the previous newscast entry, this is a lawless zone that's kind of up for grabs, but that also means that illegal activity should flourish. So that makes sense. Okay, here's our friends.
Of course, everyone is welcome to attend the investigation, though please do remain at a safe distance until the risks are more clear.
So many ships! I cannot believe we are actually here, ready to witness something truly historic.
The Terran Secret Service has been alerted to potential gate activity. The Intervention Corps has been ordered to undertake a threat assessment with regard to the potential impact on Sol territories. We can only guarantee everyone's safety as long as the expedition remains close to the intervention fleet. However, we advise everyone to stay clear of our firing arcs.
Initial scans indicate some activity. We will need to get closer for a more thorough read of the situation. Mission Specialist, approach the gate nacelle and interface with it to initialize a direct data stream for our onboard science team.
Affirmative.
Oh, that's not us, for once. Usually we'd have to fly up and scan something, but it seems like someone else is taking care of the grunt work this time.
Activating scanner. Accessing nacelle.
Data stream is initialized. It looks like... Fall back. The energy is spiking.
So usually I've not been very impressed by Egasoft's writing. I hope the storyline is better in this DLC. I really like the universe,
Well then,
but
Intervention Corps, prepare for traversal.
the stories and the
Close behind. Mission Specialist.
yeah.
Remain here and establish an outpost to derive a complete reading of the gate's coordinate data.
On it, sir. Godspeed, everyone.
But the storyline and the storyline's effect on the universe has always been disappointing. For example, in the last DLC, you were tasked with, amongst other things, helping kind of a small, a very small faction that was kind of preyed upon by a larger pirate faction. And you know, you helped them out, but nothing really changed. They didn't get access to new ships. Nothing really changed in the universe, and it's kind of been the same for every other DLC. So I'm hoping they pull a different kind of trick out of the hat here. Maybe unlock something special for you after you've completed the mission tree. We'll see. All right, so let's get through the jump gate and see what awaits us on the other side. So here we are.
Entering system. Watchful gaze.
Preliminary scans indicate that this system is uninhabited.
Oh, there's something here.
No sign of boron or any other kind of life, biological or artificial.
This cannot be true. Are you certain that the sensors are not malfunctioning? It has been so long. I really thought this might be the day I finally reconnect with my kin of the Fin.
Of the fin.
Boron exile, you may yet be a step closer to your reunion. Explorer, we need some detailed system mapping. The task is in your hands. There is much to learn here.
Oh, do I need to? I'll fly closer to the thing I saw later, but just to be sure. Yeah. Okay, where is it? Here it is. So I see there's a couple of guys that's kind of stumbling upon this live stream. Hello, welcome. We'll be playing through the Kingdom End DLC today. It's probably going to be a relatively short stream. I have a wife that is coming home in about 45 minutes. We'll see how much we can do in that time. I do plan on streaming every day going forward. Hopefully a bit longer than this stream, but we'll see. If you have any questions, comments, harassment, please leave it in the comment section.
Preliminary data has identified some points of potential interest. We are having trouble locking on to exact locations at this range. See if you can pinpoint them for us.
Oh, please, I saw it from a long ways away. Derelict ship. Alright, we're probably gonna have to
Could that be?
do scan mode.
By the Trinity, a boron vessel.
My instinct says we should take a closer look.
Interesting. I am looking forward to flying these designs. That's gonna be really fun. Do I have to long range scan it? Nope. Do I have to perhaps get out? I need to explore the derelict ship, so I should probably have to...
Your ship's sensors are picking up a weak energy signature amongst the debris.
Alright. Oh. I think I might be stuck. Already. No, I'm fine. Oh. As I said, it's been a really long time since last I played this game. What is going on? Oh. No, I'm stuck. I found the first glitch, guys. Seems like the boron derelict vessels is not made for spacesuits. Okay, but we're out. Another thing about all of my playthroughs is that I always discover bugs, things that doesn't work. Yeah. Though it's not really difficult in, you know, an Egosoft game, let's be honest. Let's see. 1.1 kilo. Oh my goodness, we are going back to the Discoverer for this. There's no way I'm flying in 7 meters per hour, 1.1 kilometer. No, we're getting back into the Discoverer. I thought it said like 170 meters, but that was apparently not correct. Oh boy, here we go again. Oh, okay, there's some invisible walls, probably. Yeah, probably some invisible walls.
Docking granted.
So always completing missions in Egosoft games, it's kind of like getting around the game to complete them, if that makes sense. We'll see whether or not we'll make this work for us.
Assistant, I think you should suit up and investigate.
Okay. Let's see, we'll need to repair.
Gain access.
Oh. Oh, baby. Encrypted report. Okay, so we'll get to learn what happened here.
Running decryption and reconstruction algorithm. The data is woefully incomplete, but it appears that this was an outpost of some kind. There are signs of an attack from several directions. It seems that the operators would have had little, if any, time to react. How frustratingly peculiar. I am forwarding all of this to our esteemed expedition commander. Perhaps he can garner more clues. I have my doubts, though.
Ilmankayat, sir? Our team confirms that the Heretics End Gate does indeed contain the coordinates to the Kingdom End system. The timing cannot be coincidental, can it? Just after we received word from the Boron? Is it possible that their experiments were somehow related to the gate reinitialization?
Coordinates and timing are relevant, but not conclusive. The fact of the matter is that this is definitely not Kingdom End. Interstellar messenger drones are not the fastest form of communication. We do not know what has occurred on the Boron side since their last message. Theoretically, a connection between the two gates is possible, but that is just a theory. It could well be that the systems were linked in the distant past.
Yes. Unfortunately, a theoretical compatibility does not mean much in itself. If activating or reprogramming these gates were easy, I am certain I would have overcome the challenges long ago.
The split didn't exactly give you a choice over your research focus. Could this be the Boron? Could they really have unlocked jump gate technology?
Perhaps. Perhaps not. At this point, any further hypothesis would be mere speculation. Until we have more evidence, keep your ideas off general comms. If you must elaborate your theories, feel free to put them in writing.
This guy's a bit paranoid, isn't he?
Hold on. I think I am picking up. Oh no, never mind that. Nothing of interest here. This system's peculiar conditions make getting accurate readings rather troublesome.
Alright. So I'll need to explore some more. Let's pull up the map. Let's see what we already have explored. Okay, so we'll need to go further.
Explorer,
Oh.
you have an unidentified ship on an intercept trajectory. This is our first contact in the newly opened network. We have no idea of who they are, or their intentions. Investigate, and if possible make contact, but maintain vigilance.
Oh my! Aliens! Please, do not be afraid. I shall disengage my armament.
Alright.
Greetings. I am so pleased to make your acquaintance.
Incredible! Finally, contact with our aquatic allies. Bosota, are you receiving this?
One moment, please. I am just finishing up some calculations. What did you say? A boron? Truly? A living, buoyant boron? Are my ocular sensor organs deceiving me? Allow me to introduce myself. I am Bozota, and I can barely recall another boron face. I have been riven from my people for that long. Will you please deign to share your time with me?
I am Mila T, adventurer extraordinaire. I would be delighted to spend time with you.
As appointed delegate of the Alliance of the Word, please allow me to extend my greetings to you and your people. It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Mila T.
I do not have any official capacity as such, but it is marvelous to be seeing actual people from beyond the disconnected gates. How did you get here? Has a gate reopened? Are we connected once more? Oh, I knew it would have to happen eventually. What joyous news!
Momentous news indeed, although we're less than clear on how this has occurred. There was speculation that the boron triggered the gate reinitialization. Messages from your scientists indicated that they were working on such a task. Please, can you direct us towards Kingdom End?
You were in contact with Kingdom End? That is marvelous news! It has been decades since we were cut off. We have heard nothing in all that time. The severing of the connection with Nishala has been indescribably distressing for all of us.
My system is in profound turmoil. To meet a fellow boron after all these years is an incandescent joy. But to find that you, too, are cut off from the homeworld is a misery.
More than you know, Bosota. We have all mourned this loss.
But without access to Kingdom End, your queen and parliament, how do you govern yourselves?
After the severance, there was a period of chaos, until a royal steward was appointed. I have had dealings with him. It would be my pleasure to make an introduction.
We must make haste. There is much to be discussed with your leadership.
Follow me, you cavalcade of curious creatures.
Ah, voice acting.
Society not headed by a queen? This is somewhat hard to fathom.
Indeed, Bosota. From your own experience, you understand the pain of separation. I doubt other species appreciate the biological depth of our harmonious societal interconnection. It was worse than it is now. It used to be that all our systems were isolated. Severed, not just from Kingdom End, the Queen and Homeworld Nishla, but also from each other. Fortunately, several of our systems reconnected to each other eventually, but none received word from home. Reorganization became a necessity. The provinces adrift, as we call ourselves, were only ever intended to be temporary, but under the Royal Steward, it has grown into a comprehensive governing body. But some of us have never given up on Kingdom End.
Oh, can you smell the conflict brewing?
Communication with the homeworld is momentous in the extreme. Not a soul in these systems has found evidence of where the Kingdom End even still exists.
Okay, so basically what I think is going to happen is we're gonna get to know this royal steward. He's gonna be an okay guy. Then we're gonna discover Kingdom End and the Queen and blah 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 and power vacuum, power struggle. Pick a side. Is basically what I'm thinking. But we'll see. We'll see. As I said, story writing is not really Ubisoft's strong suit, or at least it hasn't been. We'll see. And as you may have noticed, I commented on the quality of the voice acting. That's also been one of the hallmarks of the Ubisoft games, quality voice acting. Before we fly through this game, I'm going to read the message that we received and see if it's anything interesting. On Jumpgate's second draft. Oh boy, this is going to be a long one. Okay. Hello everyone. Expedition leader Numachakret has asked me to put in writing my thoughts on the Jumpgate opening in Heretic's End, which I confess has unnerved me. I am preparing a summary of the scientific debates so far for the expedition's final report. You, my fellow explorers, get to review my latest draft, so please tell me if any of these talking points are overly tangential or sleep-inducing. First, a word on the general public discourse. Signs of activity in Heretic's End coming so soon after a communication from Kingdom End explicitly mentioning Jumpgate experiments were met with widespread optimism. Media outlets across the Gate network gravitated towards the rather unscientific notion that the Boron were the only missing member of the pre-Dark Era community of planets. Purely by a process of elimination, they assumed it had to be them on the other side of this jump gate. On the other end of the spectrum, doomsday prophecies proliferated. Permancres, one of Sacred Relic's more controversial figures, famously presented socio-mathematical calculations in an effort to prove that the collapse of Boron society had inevitably occurred mere months after the bespoke messenger drone's dispatch. According to his followers, we may well be listening to the calls of a long dead or at least economically depleted civilization. In all probability, Parmancres asserts, the Boron would not be in a position to start a jump gate experiment, send a messenger drone, and almost perfectly synchronize the successful conclusion of experiment with the arrival of the drone years later. This would be a vanishingly unlikely coincidence, and he suggests that massive investments in jump gate research required would, in itself, catalyze Boron economic collapse. Parmancres' most vocal opponent, Sibasomos Sisandras Lulandas II, on the other hand, has attempted to sway the discourse by characterizing the Kingdom of Boron as an exceptionally stable society, profoundly focused on the technological advancement. If she is to be believed, Boron technology might not have advanced to the point of jump gate manipulation, yet may have triggered an interference signal strong enough to prompt a cascading reaction, ultimately reaching Heretic's End itself. Parmancres retorted that the only cascading reaction would have been the complete annihilation of Boron life due to a failsafe installed by the gate's builders. Okay, so there's some scientific disagreement here, political perhaps. Does this sound familiar to any real world discourse? I think they were hinting at something here, but oh well. This remark was clearly a reference to Shiholan Tiago, former professor of New Hava Academy of Sciences, who, before her recent retirement, made waves with similar speculations about an omniscient observer monitoring technological progress. In one famous lecture, originally intended to cover the life cycle of magnetars, she claimed that science is dead and further discoveries are purely at the whim of unseen forces. Evidence appears to support the theory that jump gate interference is indeed ultimately impossible. During the dark, several sectors drained vast resources in futile attempts to end their isolation, in some cases triggering economic, political, and social collapse sufficient to render them surface-bound. Since then, the dream of reactivating jump gates, especially to reconnect with lost sectors of one's own civilization, has defined countless scientific careers. A glimmer of hope remains. The incredibly small amount of data from the jump gate nacelle that we have so far been able to access has been theorized to be some kind of cache of remote access. For the Heretics and Jump Gate, this cache data lists amongst its entries the coordinates of Kingdom End. Granted, so do at least 17 other gates in the known network. But Watchful Gaze is the first successful confirmation of a coordinate datasync between pre- and post-gate opening Nashel cache readings. Whew! It seems reasonable to hypothesize that this coordinate data constitutes an affinity for other jump gates, either because the gates were once connected in the distant past, or because the gate builders in their time made a careful selection of auspicious jump gate network layouts. The logic behind the prioritization of this cached data will have to be further investigated by observing future jump gate connections. Rick Feynman famously, that's the scientist in the Terran DLC, the second one, famously postulated that one does not, by knowing and applying all fundamental laws as they are known today, gain any understanding of the jump gates. In this spirit, I infer from our findings the necessity of optimism. The petabyte of as yet unciphered data within the nashshell are barely touched, and there is a distinct possibility that one of the jump gates ahead will add another breadcrumb to our trail of Kingdom End. How's that for an ending? This has me excited for my next mission. See you among the stars. Lexi Feldman. Okay. That was a lot of words. Yeah, so basically there's a debate on whether or not it's even possible to manipulate the gates, and if it is, if that has theoretically destroyed Boron society or Boron economy to attempt to do so.
Goodness. Someone from beyond our realm. Surely this indicates that our reports are correct. The once dormant gate has indeed resumed its function and brought our province into alignment with our erstwhile allies. You must realize what this means. All the resources of the Commonwealth are now within reach. At long last, a chance to end the shortages.
Seems like the economic collapse theory has some gravitas. Okay.
I must warn you, the provinces adrift are not awash with the luxuries of the old kingdom. The pain of severance has been constant, but our economy has also suffered. The shortages of essential goods have cut deeply. Reconnection with the network may alleviate some of these issues, at least.
Alright, so it seems like this Paranchimont, or whatever, apparently, was right about his theory about economic collapse. Not necessarily caused by an attempt to manipulate the gates, but at least that there has occurred a economic collapse. Though this is not Kingdom End. This is the Provinces Adrift, which is kind of the lost Boron. So there might still be more to discover here. Oh, I think I see. Yeah.
Outsiders, with a fleet no less. What have you been up to?
More than that, Royal Steward, I bring momentous news. The fleet, this Paranid-led fleet, it came from the dormant gate in Watchful Gaze. They have communicated with Kingdom End. They have no Kingdom End gate, but they have communication. We are connected to the network once more.
My word, the
delegation seeks an audience. May I?
Yes, of course. There is so much to discuss, so much to consider.
Royal Steward, would it be in order for me to accompany the delegation?
I am sure you have other things to do. Diplomacy is not the same thrill as exploration.
Please, Royal Steward, with your permission.
Of course, Neelity. By all means, accompany the delegation.
Called it.
On the expedition, Commander. I sense you are becoming more central to his plans. Join the delegation. Watch this royal steward.
I don't think
I have
the...
some experiments to attend to, though I shall keep an eye on you.
Thank you. I think the Royal Steward did not express the joy and excitement that a Boron should display when being told that there is a possibility for him to meet with his wife, or wife, queen, once more. What, can't I? Okay, no. So, yes. So I'm far to the right, okay. Okay. Oh. That was not my intention. I don't usually have this kind of trouble. There we are. Okay.
A Boron capital ship. In all my days. A perfect equilibrium of function and ergonomics. And with such flair.
Oh, I agree.
My current abode is penurious in comparison.
Okay, so let's explore a little bit. Let's go to the generator room first, just to have a look. Let's have a look at the design. Oh no. They don't have their own Boron design. Oh no. Let's go to the bridge. Hopefully that one has a proper Boron design. Thank God. See, he even looks like a villain.
My ropalium near explodes with the joy of welcoming esteemed visitors. This historic occasion is the first of its kind. I am Leda V, Royal Steward of the Provinces Adrift. On behalf of Her Majesty the Queen, and as her loyal servant, it is my profound pleasure to welcome an emissary of the Perenid Empire. And once business is out of the way, I insist you join me on a more informal tour.
Esteemed Royal Steward Leda Wee, thank you for your most gracious welcome. You must forgive me. I, Numankaret, am no Empire emissary. I represent the Alliance of the Word, a diplomatic forum and scientific organization funded by various races across the network.
My. But do you have letters patent from the Empire? The provinces adrift are in dire straits. We must negotiate terms of assistance.
I am compelled to reiterate, I do not speak for the Perenid authorities. Though we do bring news which may bring joy. We have been in communication with Kingdom End. Limited fragile communication, but communication nevertheless. Some months ago we received word from your homeworld. It was heartening to discover that the Boron Core has survived the shutdown, and learn of their most ambitious endeavor. Their entire scientific resources are focused on understanding and manipulating Jumpgate technology. We humbly request your permission to investigate the dormant Jumpgates in your territory, and to set up a scientific outpost in the region, should that be required.
There are so many implications to consider. This really is momentous. I am afraid I must decline your request, for now. We cannot be precipitous.
By the glistening waters of Nishala.
I fail to understand. We ask for no more than your permission. We certainly have no wish to be a drain on your resources.
Leda Wee, they are trying to connect us with Kingdom End. They have communications.
Neela T, this obsession with finding home is entirely yours. You may have the luxury of gallivanting around the galaxy and
so predictable.
I have responsibilities. I have the welfare of billions of souls to consider. Our guests have already made clear that the outside network, with all its resources, has been unable to connect with our homeworld. The priority at this juncture is the welfare of our people, and I shall not be distracted from that.
Honored host, we will of course expedite communications with the governments of the network. I'm sure emissaries are preparing as we speak. Yet, if we could simply...
Enough, please. I understand your request, but I do not think you understand what is at stake. Please have patience, but for now, the matter is settled.
Outrageous! The Boron Queen's government itself is racing to reconnect, and you decline to facilitate? What kind of royal steward are you?
Please?
There is nothing to be gained from trading insults.
This is absurd. Our work is of the utmost importance. Your obduracy is beyond me. I shall take my leave. Heading to the dock, awaiting pickup.
That certainly could have gone better, but all may not be lost.
Alright. So, this was entirely predictable. I hope they do handle it with less, what can we call it, obviousness, so that it becomes interesting, that we get a real choice and real insight into this Leda way of thinking and what he wants to get and why he wants to get it, and that he is altruistic, maybe is a little bit egoistic, you know. Interesting.
Protectorate has determined that this system poses no threat to the citizens of Sol or the wider network. Our orders are to deploy to a position of more strategic importance. Still, stay alert. None of us know what might be lurking out there.
Alright.
The Alliance of the Word thanks you for your support. We shall proceed alone from here on. Our military friends are needed elsewhere.
So I hope they manage to make this interesting and to make it not obvious.
Ah, the silent one from our disappointing introduction.
Are you okay?
I regret my approach at our meeting. You see, I have not hosted a diplomatic function in decades. Unfortunately, I am simply not in the habit of communicating with anyone other than Boron, you see. We Boron converse amongst ourselves, relying on complex structures of pheromones, not just mere words. There was so much to communicate, so much to cogitate upon, yet the words failed to convey my meaning. You must imagine it like painting an ocean, yet having only a single shade of blue with which to do so.
Okay. Why are you guys in this situation?
From time to time, I spend the waking nights pondering the very same question. It would be misleading to cast blame for all our miseries on the Great Shutdown. In fact, when we were first riven from the wider network, the vast majority of our boron systems remained connected between themselves. Isolated from external threats, we commenced a new age of reflection and scientific endeavor. And while this period of peace brought the wealth of Kingdom End to fabulous new heights, we were not complacent. Resources were stockpiled throughout the Queendom, a precautionary measure. Oh, we thought we were prepared, yet in truth we were far from it. We Boron are inherently connected to each other, you see. We thrive on a collective sort of innate affinity. Once that connection was severed, each system found itself in complete isolation. Things fell apart quite quickly, I'm afraid to say. Productivity collapsed catastrophically. Stockpiles were depleted far more rapidly than anticipated, and there was no way to replenish them. After years of disarray, Great Reef finally reconnected with barren shores. Later, it was joined by several other systems. The provinces adrift were founded, but by then the damage was done. We still lacked crucial resources. I contend that it was the collective psychological toll of the severance that caused this, more so than the evident logistical challenges posed by the shutdown.
Okay, so that's logical. Perhaps there is a positive solution.
Your expedition commander hardly seemed in the mood for positive solutions. I cannot imagine that you presume to speak for him.
Assistant, perhaps uncovering more context first may help with your solutioneering.
Okay, let's talk to the other guys. Let's see. Let's go to...
Hello.
No.
Goodbye.
Let's go to... The crew quarters.
The steward and I have had our differences in the past, but I had no idea he would be so stubborn.
Okay.
I'm so very sorry you had to witness that embarrassingly discordant display. Leader Wee and I disagree on much, but he is not a bad person. You know, he is just scared.
Let's see, what is he afraid of?
I think he is scared of falling short. He carries the weight of the expectations of the entire provinces. He wants to keep everyone safe, and I think he fears that your expedition will exacerbate an already dangerous situation.
Your quest for home was an obsession?
Oh, you took note of that, did you? Time after time I approached Leader Wee for the resources to find our way back home, but he has come to the conclusion that efforts spent on this endeavor come at an immediate cost to our people. I would hate for you to get the impression that I do not care for my fellow Boron here. Out on the fringes, I am truly seeking to make a difference for the people. Serving the Queen's subjects is a duty for me. You see, I do not like to draw too much attention to it, but I myself am the progeny of stranded minor royals. Before you bow or anything like that, I am not part of the direct line of succession, and that is not how our monarchy works in any case. Yet, it drives me to find a path back home, for the people to once again delight in a reunited, merry realm.
Oh, that's a really nice detail with her suit. It changes color from like a bright yellow, as it is now, to, look, it changes to a kind of a pink color. It's very nice. It's a nice attention to detail. I like it. Okay, so what's this dangerous situation you mentioned?
Yes, fraught with danger. The provinces lie uncomfortably close to Kark territory. When Sanctuary of Darkness first connected to the provinces, it triggered regular attacks. We barely managed to protect ourselves with the meager military that we could cobble together. Thankfully, the waves have calmed for now. The Kark incursions eventually ceased. All attempts to communicate with these enigmatic creatures have failed, so I would hesitate to call it a ceasefire. It is more of a lull in hostilities. As you can imagine, the situation remains rather fragile.
So there's a lot of cock flying around, eh?
Pleasant travels.
Okay. I'll tell you. I'll stop. Let's go to the bridge. No, the docking area. Okay, expedition leader, what do you have to say?
Who does this fool think he is? Does he not understand the gravity of our mission? Withholding his consent? We shall continue without it if necessary.
This game doesn't screw around. Withholding consent, continuing on if necessary. I can see where they're going with this. That's a nice thing to say. Okay. Patience towards the close-minded. Yes, we need to have patience towards subhumans.
You may have a point. Perhaps his simple mind cannot grasp all the variables at play. I wonder if we can help him to see the bigger picture.
Later, we is afraid.
Yes, you are right. That much is obvious. I cannot help but wonder if there's more to the issue than that. Perhaps he is overly attached to his role as Prime Administrator of the provinces. A reunion with Kingdom End would inevitably result in him having to relinquish power and standing.
Called it. He's certainly thirsty. He fears something.
I understand.
Ah, yes.
He is worried that our presence will stir up an infestation of the Chitterers. The Alliance of the Word is certainly prepared to provide assurances that our investigation will not leave him exposed to Ka'ak attacks.
See, he says it right. Okay, goodbye. Okay, so now we kind of have a bigger picture. So let's go ahead and talk to Leda Wei. Okay, buddy. I've talked to people.
Ah, the silent one from our disappointing introduction.
Perhaps there is a positive solution. About the threat of something. We aim to avoid provocation at all costs. Yes, that is what he said.
Your commendable commitment to peace is as welcome as it is unexpected. The Alliance of the Word is to be lauded for its respect for our peaceful ways.
Perhaps there is a positive solution. If you help, we could use Neela's ties to increase your standing. Ah, right, because she was kind of a cousin of the queen or something.
I am fully aware of Neela T's royal connections. Is it your opinion of me that I am some petty functionary who can be bought and sold, bribed by the highest bidder? You misjudge me, and you misjudge Neela T. For all our disagreements, I cannot conceive that she would be party to such a grubby approach. Of course I desire the return of the provinces adrift to the warm embrace of the homeworld. But what kind of servant would I be if I did so at the expense of the welfare of those under my charge? This is all terribly challenging. My instinct is that your expedition is honest in its intent. However, I find your judgment questionable. Well, I feel that I must allow you to proceed in your mission. However, I ask of you, do not make me regret this.
Okay.
With the gate and watchful gaze reactivated, to our knowledge, only 3 more dormant gates remain in province space. One is located in Ocean of Fantasy, another in Barren Shores. The final one was discovered by scouts in Sanctuary of Darkness. If Sanctuary of Darkness sounds foreboding, you may find that the name is fitting. It is host to a significant Ka'ak infestation. Even uttering the name makes my fins tingle. Yet I must remain firm on the matter. Do not, under any circumstances, engage with the Ka'ak. Every interaction with them results in horrific conflict.
You have our word, Leader Wee. We shall do everything in our power to avoid undue provocation.
Thank you. And may I bestow upon you a gift? We have prepared for you a fighter ship. A humble gift, but hopefully it will be of use to you in the time.
Hallo, kjære. Gi meg et øyeblikk.
You have done well to secure access for us to continue our mission. Please, claim the scout ship as your own. Execute well.
Okay, so we're gonna provoke the cock in the next episode because the wife came home and I'll have to quit my live stream. Okay, I'll try to live stream every day following today, so tomorrow and the day after that. Hopefully a bit longer than today, but we'll see. Have a nice evening, and I'll see you tomorrow.